And we are live. It is what I believe to be Wednesday night. And tonight I'm going to talk about, well, whatever you want to talk about. But I'm going to focus a wee bit on insulin tonight. And the reason I want to talk about insulin, it seems to be such a dominant factor in our lives. And I thought, there are a lot of articles out on YouTube that talk about insulin, and we pretty much in the carnivore world are pretty aware of a lot of the things that insulin is, responsible for and how it impacts us. But I thought it'd be good to go over because I have been wondering about insulin, and I have been trying to figure some things out with my body and insulin, and I've been taking a lot of glucose readings, and here in a few minutes, I'll take another. I got a little tiny glucose monitor here. I believe I got this one at CVS, and heaven forbid I could actually read this tiny micro dot, but it's a little tiny measuring stick device. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that. And maybe we'll go over a few other things going on in the world of carnivore and how it's impacting myself. But again, this whole thing with insulin, it really does seem to be like there's this master hormone switch. Hello there, and welcome to the House of Scotty P with your host, Scotty P, talking about insulin tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and put a link to this in the chat. And if anybody wants to come up on the chat, I'll be more than happy to bring you on board. Let's go ahead and get that up there. There we go. There's the link to the chat. And I'm going to talk about insulin. So I'm not a doctor. Never played one on TV. I don't have a lot of knowledge on insulin. I can almost spell it. I can put it in a sentence and use it, but otherwise, insulin. But I have insulin resistance, and I know this to be the case because I have a big belly. I have fatty liver disease, and that pretty much nails it right there. Now, what I will say though is that in all of that discussion, I have had some blood work done over the past few years, and I have many years of blood work to look back on. And when I do look back on that blood work, I do see periods of time where my insulin was measured, and that was very good. And then I see times where it wasn't, with COVID and everything. It was awfully hard to have coherent and consistent lab work done. I don't think I had any lab work done in 2020. It's just a great big skip. Yeah, that's what it was, a skip. And so I was looking also at non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and some of the biomarkers for that. And I am looking for where I had written down some of my blood work, particularly insulin, because there's a website called the Blood Code. I don't know if you're familiar with it, the Blood Code. Oh, here we go. I'm finding more notes. There we go. I found more notes. And the issue with the insulin resistance, and what do they call that now? They call the syndrome, metabolic syndrome. Thank you. English as a second language. The metabolic syndrome is that insulin is in there somewhere, and I think it's important. So I have written down on my trusty dusty 3x5 card. Well, not too dusty. I do have some of the numbers that speak to my insulin levels, and somewhere in here, not my ukulele. I'm not talking about my ukulele. I have my hearing aids. I'm going to put them in. They might help with a few aspects. I don't know. We'll see if they're charged. I'm not sure that they're charged up. It's a wonderful thing getting older and needing to strap up before you do anything, right? Yet my hearing aids are not fully charged up right now. So they're about as useful as a screen door on a submarine, right? That's almost funny, right? They're charging now. It won't take too long. Oh, hey, big man in Alaska. How you doing, brother? How's Big John doing today? Are you good? I hope so. Oh, what's happening here? Come on, get in there. Okay, there you go. You good, brother? Good. Good morning to you. Okay, good morning. Yeah, I just want to talk about insulin stuff because I'm trying to wrap my head around some of these biomarkers. I mean, I think we pretty much, I don't say we beat a horse, but in the carnivore world, we talk a lot about eating meat and carnivore type stuff, right? Fasting day 205 for you. Good on you, brother. Hang in there. I think today's a tough day. Today's a tough day. Or can be. I mean, it depends on your experience with fasting. But I'm really trying to come to grips with a couple things. I have a great big thing I'm wrestling with. Not sure I'm open for a lot of discussion about that, but I do know I am wanting to talk a lot about insulin and fatty liver disease. And they say that fatty liver disease is a big deal. Fatty liver disease is costing lots of money already, and it's going to cost more. Hello, Lisa. How are you? I watched your video today, Lisa, and I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I think there's a cycle for some carnivores, so to speak, where we come in and out, and we have good days, bad days, good week, bad weeks, and months, right? And it's tough, and I know it. And you were talking about the weight, gaining the weight, and going back to portion control. And I'm not gonna tell you to do otherwise. You got to do what's good for you. I think there's so many variables for each person that it's going to be nearly impossible to say there's one shot for everyone. You know what I'm talking about there. Pardon me, I have a little hot tea here. Trying to cut down on my coffee, and I've been very, very fortunate that way to get my coffee down. But I've put some tea in. Next to be getting rid of the tea. Yeah, that's what it'd be. I'm going to take this, make this a little bigger, and there we go. Just to start off with some comments on insulin, as I take them down, I was listening to Dr. Ben Bickman. If you've been in the carnivore community, and for those who I see here, Dr. Benjamin Bickman out of Utah, he is the King Bunny Bufu on almost all things about lipids, and his prowess and knowledge to talk about insulin is right up there as well. So insulin's out there to correct a situation in our body where we have too much glucose. Now, whether that glucose comes in the form of a starch, a sugar, or because of neoglucogenesis. I don't think the body is necessarily picky. If it's sugar, it has to do something. And matter of fact, Dr. Bickman has an IQ. I don't know if you've seen this. Have any of you seen Dr. Bickman's IQ? Matter of fact, I'm gonna see. I'm on this search engine here. Benjamin Bickman. And I'm gonna see if I can bring up his stuff because it's really good. Yeah, right here. I'm gonna hit that, and it should. We're gonna have to talk over that real quick because I don't want to. There you go. I don't want to strike a YouTube strike on a guy with only 400. By the way, if I have 402 followers, I'm going to try to get that up to the magical 500. I think that'd be really cool. I'm going to go ahead and put this up, and I'm going to pausinate this. Let's see, pausinate. That's a new technical term. Put this right here. There's Dr. Benjamin Bickman, and shout out to him. Now, he hasn't given me any authorization or whatever, so I'm not going to do a whole bunch, but just roll this by. He has this video out here that he put about a month ago. Already has 24,000 views. Where does insulin resistance come from with Dr. Ben Bickman? And he'll talk a lot about it. But what's really interesting is if you look down here where it says Insulin IQ, that's his webpage. He has a lot of great information on that page. I mean, you can really, really go into there. It is Insulin IQ, right? And there are just so many videos in there, and he does these like mini seminars, and these seminars are just full of tremendous amount of information. I love his diabolical picture that he has for a thumbnail. He's like, you know, like Doogie Howser on Doogie Howser MD, right? But again, the guy is incredibly intelligent, and he talks about all these things. And this one right here is called "Are You Making Your Fat Cells Hungry?" That one right there, he talks about how he puts. I'll put that down a little bit. How he can take. Well, that's not going to work. We'll just go over here and do it like this. We won't get crazy with it. He talks about how in his lab he puts fat cells and human muscle cells in petri dishes, and they can grow muscles. And he said he tells his lab students growing muscles is pretty easy in a petri dish, but growing fat, even when you put them in a bath of sugar or a bath of fatty lipids, right? Fat cells won't grow. But as soon as he adds a couple drops of insulin, that fat grows. It does its magic, right? And so that's where he's at. Now, he also talks about are your fat cells too fat, your fatty liver. But this is a wealth of knowledge. If you're a person who feels that knowledge is power and you have the time, then listening, even just listening to it in the background, right? So you've got what he called the metabolic classroom. Oh, let me put it back on here again. Okay, the metabolic classroom. Maybe I can embiggen this a little bit. Let's see. There we go. The metabolic classroom, EP 7, 8, 9. So you can go all the way back. See EP 1, intermittent fasting, low fat versus low carb, how the thyroid affects insulin and fat, all on and on and on. You all can read. Well, anyhow, tremendous source of information. If you go there, you be prepared to be amazed and enthralled and going, wow, why didn't we ever get taught this stuff? The man is absolutely amazing. But that's the Insulin IQ from Dr. Ben Bickman or Benjamin Bickman. Well, he does go by Dr. Ben Bickman here, so I'll use Ben. I'm amazed at how people use their names anymore. When I was a kid, everybody got a nickname. Everybody got a short name. And now it doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, when I did a casual, let me get back here. I'm going to go back one more. Okay. I did insulin levels and insulin resistance on the Google Phonic machine, as you can see here. And let me just put me back in the picture. There we go, because it's all about me, right? Maybe not. Oh, I got to go back over here. There we go. And look at the number of responses we have here, right? I mean, there's just so many responses. And then you have, it gives you related searches about symptoms in females, the test, main cause, how I cured my insulin. It's a big deal, regardless of what modern medicine and doctors may be telling you. There's a big interest out there on insulin right now and insulin resistance and how it impacts our body and how the standard American diet, the SAD diet, really does add to and fuel the fire of insulin resistance. Now, I'm not going to go into everything here because I don't have enough time, nor do I have the expertise, nor do I have the inclination to do that. But we know when you put junk in your face for diet, if your food comes out of boxes with what do you call those, barcodes on them, more than 4 ingredients, you're going to be in a problem. You're going to have a rough time. But insulin resistance is a scourge and a plague of our society right now. And if you follow that down the path, you'll find that insulin resistance, leads to things and conditions like I have. So I have had insulin resistance for quite a long time now. And that insulin resistance has led to me having a fatty liver. Now, lucky for me, my fatty liver is getting better. Well, I can't say that right now, but I'm doing the things I think I need to do to make it better. But it says here, in a fasted state, this is from Dr. Bickman. In a fasted state, they want your insulin to be less than 6 microgram per milliliter, right? And that means that you might be insulin sensitive. And I have registered my insulin, right, to be at 6 and 6.5. So no big surprise with my big belly that I have some insulin resistance, because I said if you're a man and your waist is over 40 inches, that's roughly the cutoff. If you're under 40 inches, you may not be insulin resistant, may not, and I stipulate that. But you get your insulin measured, and a fasted insulin of 6, less than 6, means you're insulin sensitive. Now, they also talked about insulin having a rhythm. Now, I had heard about glucose and the dawn effect, and how glucose, some people have just more glucose in the morning to get up, to get moving, and that's the case for me. But I think being insulin resistant means I'm going to have more anyway, because I was measuring my glucose, and I had a couple mornings I was below 100. I was like, yay, I'm below 100. And then this morning, I think when I measured it this morning, I'm pulling out my little meter. When I measured today, see, at 3 o'clock, I was at 103. That's not so bad. 101, and then 98. So, yeah, 113, 107 in the morning, 92 in the afternoon one day. So I'm kind of popping around a lot. It's not a nice little steady, I guess curve. It's not curve, a steady plot line, right? But we're working on it. So part of that process, of course, is being carnivorous, right? Not eating sugars. I don't eat sugars. I don't have milk. I do have that skosh of heavy cream when it's in the house, but it's not in the house right now. But my fasted insulin was a little bit higher, so to put me in that moderate area. Now, if it was greater, so they said less than 6 is optimal. 7 to 18 is problematic. Now, you could have a rhythm. It's pulsatile. So in other words, they're saying that the insulin doesn't just get all dumped at one time. It spurts out. And if you think about it, the beta cells, the islet cells, they're making that stuff in the pancreas, and along with glucagon, I believe, and they're going to have to make it and then ship it, and make it and then ship it. It's a just in time type of situation. It doesn't just put it out there because there's not a signal. There's a signal somewhere in your body. Now, you may have a broken signal. There are people who have broken signals, right? Diabetics. I'm sure there are other cortisol or other things like that. But insulin is a on-demand type thing. Well, anyhow, 7 to 18, you got some problems. You're definitely insulin resistant. And greater than 18, you are full bore insulin resistant. So I don't know what your insulin numbers are. I don't know if you've had them tested. But I have had them tested. And I thought I had a sheet where I wrote each one. Oh, yeah, I did right here, right next to it. Okay, great job, buddy. So my insulin was 6.1 last September, the end of September. And I was pretty heavy into carnivore at that time. I'd been carnivore for about 2 months. 2 months. 2 months. The thing is, I don't know what my insulin was before that. I bet you it was much higher. Now, I also had my insulin done again. I had my insulin done twice. So I had it done on the 20th and the 28th. On the 20th, my insulin was 6.5. and my glucose was 89. Same blood test. So my insulin was near insulin resistance levels, with my glucose being lower than your concern, right, of 120, right? So I had what I think is pretty good glucose, but I still had insulin resistance level of insulin in my body. Oh, and my A1C, 5.2. Now, tell me, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go and be talking to my my doctor on in April. And when I talk to my doctor in April and I say, okay, I've got a fatty liver, my insulin, my glucose was 89, and my A1C was 5.2, i.e., my A1C was really good. 5.2, not bad. Glucose 89, not bad. Insulin 6.5 means my body's working real hard to force that glucose into the cells, or worse yet, my liver is making a lot of glucose. In 2022, I had a glucose of 99, A1C of 5.0. In 21, glucose of 101, A1C 5.3. And in 19, because we don't have anything for 20, in 19, glucose of 96, A1C of 5.0. But here's what's interesting. In 2019, and I know I've been doing a lot of carnivore, and this is in January, and I'm almost positive in 2019 when I did this, I was heavily into doing the Dr. Sean Baker meat challenge. My insulin was 4.6. So I wasn't insulin resistant. My glucose was less than 100, and my A1C was 5.0 in 19. Interesting. Going back to talk a little bit about this. Matter of fact, I'm going to make sure I keep these cards in order so when I go to my doctor, I can talk to my doctor. Doctor, tell me the news. Looking at triglycerides to HDL fat ratio. Now, my HDLs are way, way down. I've looked through a lot of my tests. I rarely have an HDL above 45. What is that telling me? That's telling you, HDL is what is left over after the liver sends out fat in a wrapper, and that's all. These HDLs and LDLs, the high density and low density lipoprotein. The HDL is the wrapper of the balloon that was the vessel, the boat that carried the triglycerides from the liver, generally speaking, or from fat storage. I just learned that one. But it's transporting energy. The lipoprotein transports it to a destination for storage. And the HDL is the empty one that's coming back from being emptied for energy. That's my understanding, imperfect as it is. There's so many things that go on here, because remember, energy is being, or things are going on all the time. There's a big chemistry set in your body. It's like Mr. Chemistry. It's like, it's all going on at the same time. Like autophagy is going on and chemistry is going on, and things are dying and things are growing and changing and morphing and mutating, and all these things are going on. I would submit billions of times in any moment in your body between neurotransmitters, electrical impulses, all that stuff. So, we need to realize that that's a pretty delicate dance going on here. And the doctors are really trying to do their best. We give doctors, isn't it funny? We give our carnivore keto doctors a lot more grace than we give other doctors, even though they're all pretty smart. Now, I grant you that some doctors aren't giving what I believe to be the best medical advice. I'm not a doctor. But anyway, looking at they say the ways you can look for your insulin resistance. If your waist is over 40, you're probably insulin resistant. For a man, I think for a woman, it's a little less, maybe 38, 36, but that doesn't apply to me, so I'm not really up to snuff on it. If your fasted state, your insulin is greater than 6 microliters or whatever in a milliliter, 6 micros. Yeah, got that little funny symbol. And if your triglyceride to HDL ratio is greater than 1.5, you got a challenge, right? Problematic. In my last one in 9/20/23, so last September, remember back when, now check this out. On that very same day in 9/20, I'm looking at the one here. My insulin was 6.5, kind of problematic. Glucose 89, A1C 5.2, seemed beautiful. Triglyceride to HDL. My triglycerides were only 119. That's not too bad. My HDL was 43. It gave me a 2.68. Yeah. I am insulin resistant, right? There's another test, your adipo IR score. It says here, when free fatty acids are down, insulin is up. So it's about checking your free fatty acids. Remember, free fatty acids are things that are going around in your blood to give energy, and cells are stripping. I did not know that. When a lipid goes by, a cell may say, I need this, and strips it off of something, So interesting to become aware of that. Thank you, Dr. Bickman. Anyway, and another way you can lower your insulin is through fasting. And yeah, sure. Now there is a test you can get. It's called a free fatty acid test or a non-esterified fatty acid assay. Whew, not the easiest words for me to say with a lisp. But what I can do is when I get to my doctor, I'm gonna do my blood work next Wednesday or Tuesday. I do my blood work next Tuesday, and after the blood work, I get back from some vacation time. And I will be doing, what will I be doing? I will have the actual visit with my medical provider at the VA. And as I go to the medical provider in the VA, the medical provider, I will talk with her and I will say, look, we've got 2 issues we have to deal with here. My insulin resistance, actually a third one, my insulin resistance and my fatty liver. Because my fatty liver, right? My fatty liver is not only a fatty liver, but I have a large portal vein, and that may be portal vein hypertension. And portal vein hypertension doesn't have a lot of great outcomes. The issue with portal vein hypertension is the portal vein, which goes into your liver, is a low pressure system. So you know how your blood pressure is, right? You want your blood pressure under 120/80. Is it 120/70? I'm not sure, but yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring this up. This is a little interesting edification time. So portal vein hypertension, as we look at the web page, totally here. Let's see if we can embiggen it. Yeah. Portal vein hypertension is elevated pressure in your portal venous system. The portal vein is a major vein that leads to the liver. Most common cause of portal hypertension is cirrhosis of the liver. Well, portal vein hypertension and cirrhosis of the liver, well, it can be fatty liver can lead to that cirrhosis. Now, I get measured pretty regularly. I've never had cirrhosis of my liver. I didn't have any surface scarring, anything they could find. Okay, so there are 3 categories of portal vein hypertension. How serious is it? Let's take a look. Portal vein hypertension is a dangerous condition with severe life-threatening complications. Yeah. So that's kind of my world right now. And so obviously I'm pretty focused on it, not worried about it, but it's a prehepatic portal or splenic vein thrombosis, intrahepatic cirrhosis, and post-hepatic blood Kyrie syndrome. So basically, you got a big splenic vein thrombosis, then you have cirrhosis, and you have post-hepatic. The portal vein thrombosis. We're going to look that up. Portal vein thrombosis. Boy, I tell you what, you watch this and you can go ahead and get great words for playing in what is that? Scrabble. Yeah, Scrabble. That's the name of it. Portal. Let's see. PVT is a narrowing or a blockage of the portal vein by a blood clot. Well, I don't have that problem. That's for sure. Mine is I have a large portal vein. So anyway, with cirrhosis. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait to see. The point and the reason I brought it up is I have been had my portal vein and I've had all that measured, and in that measurement where they said my portal vein is getting larger and larger, little bits by little bits, they need to go and measure it. Well, they found this out in 2019. See, fatty liver 2018, portal vein questions in 2019, and then there is at the beginning of 2020 when I went to a specialist for this, right? The specialist dropped the ball because of COVID, and now here we are in 2024. And so, that's kind of problematic when you consider when you consider that. So now we'll go ahead and take a look and see what's the deal. Am I just blessed? Do I just have big veins, or do I have portal vein hypertension? Right? And see, portal vein hypertension diagnosis. Right? Diagnosis. How is it diagnosed? Let's go into that for a quick, boring moment. Clinically, patients with cirrhosis can be diagnosed with it by the presence of ascites. So ascites are, and they look for those. I didn't have those, but you got these. They're kind of like an aneurysm, if you would, but actually, they're more like hemorrhoids in your esophagus and elsewhere. And if one of them breaks open, you're toast. Varices, there you go. Ascites, varices are both. Imaging studies of Doppler. I don't have any of those. But and testing for imaging, non-invasive can give you a duplex Doppler ultrasound. So that's probably what I'm going to have ordered. Probably going to have a duplex Doppler. Can you say Doppler? Yeah. But this is the issue we have to look for, because I've been dealing with this fatty liver for a number of years. And what bugs me about the fatty liver I've been dealing with for years is the fact I've been dealing with it for years. And I did the carnivore 90 days, almost made it close to 100 days. I don't know that I ever fixed it. But there's one more thing. And we're gonna see about it. We're gonna work on it. But I am not against having an adult beverage on occasion, right? And I never get carried away with it, but that could be what's hamstringing me the whole way. So absolute abstinence is the key, and that's not hard for me. I'm not addicted to it. I don't have a need or anything like that. I don't have any need to do it, but I really wasn't taking it serious what this can mean to me and what this can do to me, and now I am. and so it's not a problem. I'm not gonna have any casual, drinks or celebratory drinks or any drinks at all. But, and we're gonna see. I've been doing carnivore now, I wanna say I probably started sometime in, well, I actually let me see what I did here. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I probably started back in January. I'm sure, yeah, January. I don't know if I did it. I intend to give pretty good notes, but I think that I would say February. Let's just go with February being when I really started back. And so that's all of February, 28 days and 13 days today. So 28 and 13 be 38 and 40, what, 41? So 41 days of carnivore should be helping, and absolute abstinence from any alcohol of any kind for a week now. And no, I have lots of days I have no alcohol, but I mean absolutely none anywhere. And yeah, it won't be a problem. But we'll see, because I don't want this whole thing getting crazy on me with all that. So that was the whole insulin thing. I mean, I could go on and on about insulin and things like that, but I'm going to turn my attention now to something a little different. I wonder. No, I can't do this. I have to stop sharing the screen for just a moment. And I want to say, let's see here. And by the way, does anybody here have any inputs or questions or discoveries or something? Lisa or John? I know everybody probably over watching Dr. Chafee right now. I don't blame you for watching Dr. Chafee. He's an interesting fellow with a lot of good insight on things. But let me see what I can do here. Wonder. You know what I'm gonna do? I wonder if I can show pictures. I don't think I can. I think we tried that the other day on something. We can't show pictures. Doo doo. Hmm. No. Let me go here like that. I'm gonna go here. There we go. Oh. I'm looking at something up. You all been paying attention to what's going on in Haiti with all the things there? I don't know if you have or haven't. No, that's not gonna be it. Nope. I'm really disappointed here. Okay, maybe we can do this. There we go. I'm gonna see if I can do this. Can I show this? I bet you I can't. Oh, let's see. Present. Share screen. Right. Yeah, it's not going to let me do that. Is it? Oh, let's see. Okay, we got that. Nope, not going to let me do it. Okay, well, we tried. We try new things. If they work, they work. If they don't, they don't. But anyway, just trying to sit there and say, what's going on in y'all's life? What are y'all doing? What's going on? And I know, big man, you got things going on there. You're day 2 of your fasting. What's been going on otherwise in your fasting? Are you having success in your fast? Is it easy for you this go around? Mm. I know it's a difficult thing sometimes to do the old fasting thing. I know it is for me. Uh, Outside of that, I think I've pretty much talked a lot about insulin and all that. Only thing I know is the real big thing for closing the loop on that insulin is low carb, animal protein, animal fat, fasting, exercise. That's it. I've missed on the exercise. I need to do more exercise, and I'm still not doing it. And I know what to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I was really thinking. I was hoping, Lisa, if you were going to be able to participate in here, Lisa, that you would give me some of the things that you're doing to get exercise, because you were talking about using the videos and the group here. Hello, Arlene. Hey, good to see you, Arlene. I'm gonna be ask you there, Lisa, a lot like what you said is the using the community here to see if we can get some motivation going to do the exercise. I'm getting motivated to do the food. I'm motivated to make sure I'm putting in my body the right thing, but the motivation for exercise has evaded me. There you go. Oh, the rebounder. Really? I get that because you're jumping so fast. I think you're flexing your calf muscles, your knee, your thigh, your hip flexors, you're balancing. So I can see that would really be a benefit there. I don't know about me doing a rebounder. I'm almost 6.5 feet tall. I might hit the roof. I got too anxious with that. I need to do resistance exercise. I'm not that out of shape. I could probably do the resistance type stuff, but I'd have to start very slow because my tendons and ligaments aren't very strong at this moment because I haven't done any type of exercise for quite a period of time. I just I've been pretty sedentary, if you don't mind. But tell me, Arlene, how are you doing? What's going on? Are you over there watching? Are you watching Dr. Chafee and all the gang over there as well? I know Dr. Chafee. When Dr. Chafee's live, it's hard to run head to head against Dr. Chafee. I can see he has 319 people. And I don't begrudge him. One, he's a doctor. Two, he's really personable, got a great personality. And three, he's a doctor. And four, he ain't hard on the eyes, I guess. So I haven't got one yet, but I'm gonna get one of those vibrating. Yeah, my dad has one of those. I got my dad the smaller vibration plate. He loves it. He says it really gives his legs a good workout. So I like it. My dad's 89. Yeah, 89 years old. Yep. You can't do a lot. I get that, Arlene. I get that. I can and I don't. And that's even worse. I think that's actually worse. I can do more and I just don't. I have most of the stuff. Arlene, at one point in time, I was just one little practicum test away from having my accreditation as a National Academy of Sports Medicine, NASM certified personal trainer. So I have a lot of that stuff up here in the old brain pan. My challenge is that I'm not putting it into application. It's pretty tough. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't wanna. I don't know why I don't wanna. I don't wanna. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. I'm not making it, And I don't want to sit here and have a pity party. It's not about a pity party. I just not finding that motivation to do the exercise. Diet, yeah, but exercise, I just don't. I'm not bad. I used to have a workout buddy. My good buddy, he lives in Nebraska, and he's kind of like my Forrest Gump. Well, actually, more like Bubba. I'm Forrest Gump, but you get the idea. We were both in the military together, and we had a lot of fun together, and we lived down the street from each other for, gosh, 14 years. Yeah. And when we did that whole military thing, if we didn't come back, one of us inherited our other children. So yeah, well, I inherited his. I have a wife. He didn't have a wife. So we got the QB bicycle. I'm going to start so we can sit down. Oh, well, thank you, Arlene. I appreciate that. Yeah, my big issue, find that motivation to do the exercise. I've only been doing this carnivore back on it for a month and a couple weeks, and I can already see that, on the side of my head, see right over here, there you go. You can kind of see a little bit. I think a ridge line from the plate they put in my head. No, I think it's my forehead. And then I have hollows like right here, and I have a hollow over here, and getting a little more hair, not back here, but up in here. So I did not know part of my challenge with my liver and uh, uh, fatty liver and all that is some of this hair dropping out here. I didn't know that. Yeah. We went to the doctor 5 months for my husband, 6 months for on Connor, and he got, oh my gosh, that is absolutely awesome. Yeah, of course his cholesterol is going to be high. Who cares? From everything we read from and hear from Dr. Barry Olade, or not Olenade, but Dr. Olade, I believe it is, and all the other doctors, we're not supposed to worry about cholesterol. We want our HDL to be up higher, but total cholesterol and all that LDL, we're not worried about that if your triglycerides are low and your insulin is low, and your A1C is low, right? All right, so got off the insulin, good. Cholesterol's high, but all right. Insulin 6.3. There you go. Great insulin. Now, what was his A1C? Do you know offhand what his A1C was? Because my insulin was 6, and then it went up to 6.5, and I want to get down again. Got to get it down. We got to see. I'm not eating any carbs. Your insulin 5.8, now it's 5.6. All right, 8 pounds. Okay. They say a lot of that weight loss, the whole idea of weight loss, right? You don't exercise to lose weight. You exercise to get flexible and stronger. All that weight loss, a lot of it, particularly in what we're doing, Arlene, I did not know this. You probably do. But when we make ketones, right? A ketone is like a carb, 4 calories, probably 3.86. I don't know. But a ketone is close to like a carb, 4 calories for a gram of ketones, right? Well, we breathe out ketones. You exhale energy, right? It's not just what we void, and it's not, we even exhale it. Now, I've never heard of being able to exhale glucose, right? I might exhale a Turkish army breath, but not glucose, right? And we don't exhale fat, but we can exhale ketones. That's why they have little breath ketone meters. I don't know how accurate they are, but you can. So that's a good thing, to know that you can actually breathe out your weight. So when you're in ketosis and you do the rebounder or the pedal bike you're talking about, right? Well, and not what we would consider a whole bunch of exercise, even just walking. Heck, the other day I was doing housework and I helped the missus, and we mopped the floors. I felt that. I felt it. It was good. I was breathing out ketones, burning energy. So not just burning energy in the ATP process or burning energy from my brain or all the other organs and things like that. Not for all the muscles, just doing the normal musculature thing like breathing, the diaphragm, and all those muscles. But, when I'm lifting up that mop bucket and carrying it with water, or pushing the mop across the floor back and forth and then wringing it out and back and forth and wringing it out, well, burning ketones, well, that's 4 calories. If you can burn ketones. That's right. All right. So, yep, we walk a little bit around the yard. There we go. I mowed my yards today. Large yards, lots of mowing. Yep, that's what I'm telling him. But he's a little bit worried because his cholesterol is 400, mine's 2. Said, well, now, I don't know if you have his test available to look at, right? But what was his HDL and his LDL? And then you can break it on to VLDLs and LDLC. There's all sorts of little sub parts, and they can tell different stories, right? And I think it needs to be looked at under or with, in concert with, like I said, the HDL. What were his triglycerides again? I don't think I saw your triglycerides. I don't know if you have that available. And I'm not a doctor. I'm just listening a lot to what people say. All right, to catch up here. His A1C, and he was on insulin, and he got off the insulin. His A1C is 6.3 now, also, which the doctor says, okay, so yes, but I just noticed a pattern I noticed a pattern here. Hey, Robin, welcome to Robin to the House of Scotty P. And we're just talking about things about insulin here. And Robin, not that you have to feel obligated to, but I did just pop the link in. If you want to come in, you're welcome to come on in and share with us your understanding of all things carnivore and your journey. Talking with Arlene here and how her husband had just got off his insulin, and I was going to relate. I was looking back at my blood work, and when I look back on it, I was looking at the 20th of September last year. My glucose was 89 and my A1C was 5.2. Hey, Laura. Yep. Barry wants you and Gloria take 5. Yeah. Oh, good. And so look at my glucose of 89 and my A1C of 5.2 last September, right? In the throes and the thick of carnivore. Those are good numbers. But I was still fighting with the fatty liver. Well, I looked over and I saw that my insulin was 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Got a little insulin resistance. Now, I know that because I have the fatty liver and because I have a waist that's bigger than 40 inches. Now, I think I should get some latitude because I'm not 5'11". I'm not, what's the standard? 5'10" is your average male height? Well, I'm 7 inches, I'm more than half a foot taller. Do I get an extra inch for that? Do I? Can I, please? I'm still bigger than that. So, yeah. So I have the insulin resistance markers. So glucose low, A1C low, insulin a little bit elevated. That's telling me my body has to work hard to keep that glucose down. Now, here's another part that was almost interesting, to me, interesting. In January of 2019, so let's go ahead and say 19, 20, 21, 22, almost 5 years earlier, my insulin, my glucose was 96, my A1C was 5.0, real good, right? My insulin was 4.6. Something in those 5 years has got my insulin going. I think I know what the culprit is. Arlene, thank you, Laura. Very nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I took liberties. Arlene, his triglycerides are 111, cholesterol, okay, HDL 43, okay. Okay, triglycerides. Do you know what? Okay, so HDL 43, LDL 8.5. Yeah. Okay, so I would think if Dr. Horton, and Dr. Berry, Dr. Chafee were looking at that and they said triglycerides 111, that's pretty good. Now the ratio is not great, I give you that. But that's because his HDL is really low, and to get that HDL up, I think I took a little note on that. But really, to get HDL up is all about resistance training, or and correct me if I'm wrong, but when they measure LDL versus HDL, we I believe the definition and the determination of what makes them different. They're both lipoproteins, right? And the lipoproteins they're like Easter baskets that wrap all the way around, and they're full of energy, triglycerides, from what I understand. And they move. They're canoes. They transport fat around in the body, right? And an LDL is full of triglycerides going toward storage, generally speaking. And the HDL is an empty HDL that now has collapsed on itself like a little folding George Jetson car into a suitcase. See, got the suitcase, plumped it up, took it somewhere, used it as an energy transporter, and now it's shrunk and it's being put back on into circulation to go back and get some more. Round and round and round. Okay. LDL is I'm full and I'm looking for a place to park. Like a great big old 18-wheeler going down the interstate, just pulling off on the off-ramp and getting stuck on the off-ramp. That would be ectopic fat, right? But the HDL is going back. I'm a little busy beaver. I got to get another load. I got to get back. So when they measure the HDL, that's telling them, and this is my understanding, mind you, it's telling them that, hey, I've been used. Fill me up. That's where we're at. So, Arlene, I know it was your husband and you and doing stuff in motion, but is there any chance that you all have those rubber bands, like the red, look a little harder, but you get the yellow and the blue and the green, and you can just sit in a chair? I actually have told people if you can get remember those canned vegetables you got that you don't eat anymore? Canned tomatoes or tomato sauce. Get those and sit in a chair and do some curls and maybe push the cans up. They're only about a pound, but do some exercise with the canned food that you don't eat anymore, right? And then you could always do getting up and down out of a chair. Just sit up and then sit down. That will raise your HDL. That will help your husband's HDL get up there, and that'd be really good. And it depends how long was your husband fasted before you had that blood test. All right, let's get back to see what people are saying. Hi, AK Laura. Who is the doctor promotes sprinting? That would be Dr. Sean O'Mara. Yeah. Phone call, got it. But Dr. Sean O'Mara. Oh, all right. What do we got here? Rob, I just got back. Oh, okay. Okay, no worries. I just always like to let people have opportunity to do that. I hope all is going well for you, and I hope that you've enjoyed yourself. Did you get to a couple of the different meetups here lately, Robin? I know that Hoosier Carnivore got to a couple, and I'm going to, as of today, I'm still going to go down to Kips because I only live like 5 hours north of Kip. I'm at the very, very top of Alabama, just 18 miles south of the state line. All right. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Good. Yeah. But Arlene, that's definitely what you want to do. You definitely resistance exercise creates and puts a demand on your metabolism. We have your resting metabolic rate, right? RMR. Your resting metabolic rate. You can go out on the internet and find calculators for that, but we don't worry about that in carnivore, right? We just eat meat till we're pleasantly filled, till we're satiated. We make sure that meat isn't the lean cuts, but it's the fatty cuts. We eat the fat, and I throw some butter and whatever else, right? And if you can do eggs, you can do eggs, and all the food we eat. So we don't have to worry a lot about quote unquote calories because there's no calorie counter in our body. It was energy in, and body has a big old chemistry set, and the body says, "What am I going to do with this, Joe? I know, what is it? I don't know. It's just a bunch of sugar and some fat and a bunch of chemicals and no protein. A Snickers bar." And all it does is just responds to that stuff and starts all that digestion up. Some of the sugars like maltose, it starts to digest as soon as it's in your mouth because your saliva can digest it. And then it goes on through the tract. We all know that. Body is real complex, supremely balanced, really busy place, but some of it's fairly monotonous, and you can predict what it's going to do. You put sugar in, then you're gonna get sugar type stuff. You put in starches, you got to do a little bit of work on the starches to turn it into the glucose you want to do, but you can still turn to glucose, as we all know. You put something in that's wrapped up in a fiber wrapper. Well, you're not going to get much of it you're not going to get any of it or very much of it. Hence why the gas with the beans, right? And the fermentation process that takes place in the gut. But yeah, but when you start to exercise, you put another signal to your body, and your body says, "Oh, I got to do something." Now, this is what I have learned from Dr. Ben Bickman, and I don't know, Robin, if you're a fan of Dr. Ben Bickman. I'm going to say you are, because almost everybody is. But he has a wonderful series right now. His insulin, his metabolic series. If you can go to Dr. Ben Bickman's website, IQ. Let's see. I think I wrote it down on something here. Insulin IQ. Yeah. It's Dr. Ben Bickman IQ, and the I and the Q are capital, and it stands for Insulin IQ. Yeah. He has a whole series of really matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to it. It was so wonderful. I liked it so much. I'm gonna have to go do the googly here. Pardon me while I find Google in my other browser, and I'll bring it up just so everybody else can see it, because it is that spiffy. Wait a minute, what am I doing? Oh, it's a beautiful mind. It's a beautiful thing to waste, I think. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Do you all know what I'm doing? I'm lost here, but that's okay. We're going to get to it. There he is. Oh, come on, Ben. Ben Bickman. You're the man for me. Ben Bickman. I know I'm all lost in finding Ben for us, okay? But I want to get to Ben Bickman IQ. Boom. There it is. I'm going to share the screeny badini. Share screen. And we're going to go here and share and open this and go here and biggen it there and make this a little bigger. Yes, I talk to myself sometimes. There you go. I wanted to go to Montello during work. I get it. That happens, Robin. I can't believe last year, right before I started carnivore for real, we went on a big vacation trip, and I drove within about 30 miles of the place, and I had no clue that Carrie and Homestead Howe and carnivore was having a surreptitious type or serendipitous meeting there. I drove right on by, just totally unaware. Anyway, if you get a chance to go to this Insulin IQ, Dr. Benjamin Bickman, right? Dr. Ben Bickman and his website, he has in his videos, if I go back to videos again, he has his theories. And I'm going to go down to, here we go, the metabolic classroom. So you have like episodes 7, 8, 9 with all these wonderful topics. And he gives you just a little bit more than, the average video does, right? You get a good PhD guy, teacher. He knows how to teach, and he knows the topic. So it's really awesome. If you can get to watch those, it will really increase your knowledge base on all these things. So yeah. Arlene, hello. I'm trying to learn more, so I'll check it out. Yeah, Dr. Ben Bickman IQ. Your triglycerides are nice. That's really good. Your HDL 66. Oh man, I'm so jealous, Arlene. Well, but if your cholesterol's 271, we don't care about your LDL. We just care about your HDL, really. In the universe where insulin is low and your glucose is low and your triglycerides are low, LDL, all that means is you're moving fat around, your liver's working fine. That's what you got to do. I know that Montello thing, that did look kind of spiffy, didn't it? That was like the bee's knees, if you ask me. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see all the people there. And I love seeing the Hoosier, seeing Brett there. That was awesome. Watch him do question Q&A there. Yeah, I tell you, Robin, You could probably play the Insulin IQ series and everything in the background of anything you're doing, and you're just going to end up being smarter. And look at the time. 18 minutes. Okay, 19 minutes, 16 minutes. Oh, the one on dietary fat. Does dietary fat cause hypertension, right? That's a really good one. We got a bunch of people on there. So that's why I think a reason it goes a little bit long, right? And these were all put out 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. That guy was rocking it for a while now. He's just, I mean, I really do put him on a level with Dr. Barry far as giving out that really good information, and Dr. Tony Horton giving out great information. I like Dr. Rob Cyrus too. Cyrus from South Africa. I think he's in Florida now, but yeah, he has some great content also. Gives you the science, gives you the what fors. Yep. Arlene saying, I'm just trying to do a little exercise on the house. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, do that. They call it proprioceptive training. When you can stand like on one foot and do something, and then you do an exercise. So let's say, remember that can of that really helps with balance. If you really want to help you balance, right? Try this one. Stand next to a counter, both feet, and do alternating, like do like a dumbbell curl, but do it like with a can of tomato sauce or whatever you got around the house, something kind of light, right? And then put one foot, pick it up, like put it in front of you, like a split stance. Like instead of standing like this, legs side by side, stand instead of like that, stand like this with your legs split a little bit. Just split your leg a little bit, bend your knees a little bit, and then do a curl with one arm, and then pick up the foot on the opposite side. That's like the toe, barely touching the ground, and pick it up a little bit, just a little bit, and do that exercise. What this does is it causes your muscle fibers to be recruited at twice the volume to 3 times the volume, because you've lost your third point of contact. So your body likes to have contact, and 2 points of contact are normal. 3 are better. That's why we like, stools with 3 legs, right? But when you're just standing on one leg and you're doing a motion, your body's going to make sure, your brain's going to send a lot of signals down to the muscles to contract and use more muscle fiber. And what that does, it will build your balance. Good stuff. Oh yeah, cut my thumb today. Silly boy. All right, I'm gonna catch up. Here we go. I hate a minute. Plus, I'm not going to the queue. Okay. Oh, the Hanging with the Brown Carnivore cruise in August. I remember hearing about that. I don't do cruises. So I apologize. That's why I joined the Air Force and not the Navy. I am not a boat. I'm a little tiny boat, but I'm not a ship guy. At least not yet. I bet you that'd be fun, though. That'd be a lot of fun. And then we'll go to Carnivore Kips thing on April 6th. Yep. Oh, the cruise. Yeah, it would be so fun. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you subbed there, Rob. That's awesome. We got to help everybody out. I know I've decided I took a little hiatus. I was out for a couple of months. I got a little burned out. I let YouTube drive me a little bit, chasing algorithms and clicks and likes and follows. I was doing all that stuff, but I was drawn back because it's something I like. I like being able to share. I think I can provide a little something to the community and bring an opportunity for people to, pardon me, I didn't realize my button was unbuttoned like that. I thought maybe I was going to Las Vegas. No. But oh man, I can't, it is hard to button a shirt when you have a thumb with a Band-Aid on it. And the other side, I'm missing a thumb, part of it. Huh. Well, I have to change it to the handicapped. All right, we're gonna give up the ghost. We'll just lay it over. There you go. Nice. But lost my train of thought there. That's a terrible thing. But yeah, I was out for a bit there. Tried to chase the likes and everything. Got a little bit, I don't know, disenfranchised. I spent too much time doing lives, and it just didn't manifest well for me. But then I was drawn back like that, not like that moth to a flame, which is actually a moth to a light like the moon, but like a moth to a flame. And here I am again. And I think as of today, I might have had 402 subscribers. So I'm going to push a little bit to get to that magical 500 number. I think that's going to be something I do. And the other thing I want to do is I want to work on editing a video. Robin, do in your videos and all that, what software do you use to edit videos, if you don't mind me asking? If that's not being too bold or forward. I have a software suite, and it's just not. It's powerful. I know how to use it. Not that I use it well, but I do know how to use it. But it, for some reason, makes all my files so big. I use Power Director 365. And that Power Director 365, it's just not working. Like, I like Adobe Premiere, but they make you have to pay for it every month. And I'm not digging that. That's just me. I'm just not digging it. I'm sorry. You sub back to, you sub to Bickman too? Good. Good. That's good, Arlene. Oh, which thumb? They're both hurt now. This one today. Well, I'm not going to show you, but I'm still working on it. But we went out and I rearranged my office, which is my studio. And if you remember before, I used to do it, and I'd have my door behind me, and all the sound was, and I don't even know how it sounds now. Ladies and gentlemen, does this sound okay, or is my audio too offensive? No, I did my audio. I turned it up a little bit. I did my audio, and I had it going up against a wall and my screens, and it was a lot of echo, and I needed to put sound panels, and I didn't like it. I was kind of crowded, so I flipped the room around 90 degrees. Now I'm looking out the front windows, so when the sun goes down, I might have a west-facing room here. It's pretty bright. But otherwise, now I have the wall back there, and you can see right here, I got my wife's painting. She did that painting, and she let me have it for my office. Thank you very much. And just a different arrangement. Well, that left me with some space on the wall over here. Now, see, right here is my beloved grandpa's chair, my recliner. And then right next to it is an open space, and we got a bookshelf today. And in getting the bookshelf, we got a great deal on it. It's all wood, pine, solid wood, half inch, maybe a little more than a half inch, 7/16, 9/16, 9/16 maybe. But anyway, it had a nail, and the nail, I was wiping it down, just cut me right across. And I was like, ow, put a lot of pressure on it, ran and walked into the house, cleaned up. Well, I didn't clean up, to be honest with you. I just pushed it together. If I had super glued, I super glued it together. Then pushed it together, banded it up, and there we are. This one, I hurt that one, cut it off on a lawnmower. I am awesome at thumb wars. You don't want to thumb war me. Anyway, I think funny with the grandkids like it. Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was the best 20 years of my life. Matter of fact, I got into the Air Force because of this, because the Army wouldn't take me. Silly Army. No, I think that was my Heavenly Father watching out for me, even when I wasn't a believer. I can see how that can happen. Burnout. Yeah, you know that. You're out there a lot, and you can get burnt out. Now, I love watching y'all's channels, but no, I watch yours, Robin, when I see it pop up. I watch Homestead How. I thank you so much, Robin. I watch a lot of things. I like to watch Kip's stuff. I like to watch our good show friend there who came here at the very beginning, Lisa's Blessed Life. I know she's re-engaging in this stuff. I watch Big Man Alaska. No, I watch all the normal people stuff, but there's only so many hours in a day. You use CapCut. Huh. Hmm. CapCut is good. I know my grandson uses CapCut on his videos. You were using iMovie. All right, iMovie. All right, those are good ones because I don't know if you've seen any of my latest videos, but I did a little extra graphic-y type work, putting things in there like let's see whatever I was talking about. I'm big in hobbies, and I was putting some stuff about hobbies and things I do in there, and I can do lots of layers. I don't know if CapCut can do it, but I can put all the layers I want. But when you do that, when you add those graphics, it makes the file really large. So some of my files are 2 and 3 gigabytes, so it takes a while to load it up. And I think if I use Premiere Pro, I would have smaller file sizes. Yep. Which one is a workhorse? And I know I've seen CapCut. It's fairly intuitive. It is. Uh, well, I bet you she did. And I hope you know what we should do, Arlene. Um, I think what we should do is we should all carry cards that have one of those if the QR the little multi QR scan on it, a QR scan or links, and take them to libraries that are on like Homestead How, Dr. Barry, Dr. Horton, Dr. I don't know if I'd someone to Dr. Chafee right away, but definitely send them out to Dr. Bickman, right? So they can get, you know, medical people talking about this, PhDs talking about this, so that they can sit there and say, this isn't just a fad. I'll ask you two real quick question. Remember when keto was a fad, right? I mean, of course there was Atkins, right? We had Atkins and the Zone diet and other things like that. But I found it amazing. The other day, I was looking through things on type 2 diabetes and things, researching insulin. And I've had all these articles popping up that talk about how the, what do they call that? The standard of care. The standard of care for type 2 diabetes and for fatty liver disease is a low carb diet. And I remember if you said low carb to a doctor, you were heretical, right? What did you do? Did you go to medical school? You think you're smarter than me? Take this pill, do this insulin, low carb, my eye, right? And then all of a sudden it just hits. And I mean, the medical community adopted it with their kicking and screaming and dragging their feet all the way. And then I believe a lady's the president of the American Diabetics Association or something. She's like, yeah, this is some good stuff. I'm treating one of my kids with it, right? That whole idea of standard of care, I get it why they have it, but it's so annoying because it's like this whole big group body of medical professionals is over here, and somebody goes over here and does something and do it all the great right ways. And then what happens? Oh, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. And then the next you turn around, next thing, oh, there it is. You're everybody's doing it, right? It's no longer a fad. Well, what about this proper human diet? Will that be the case? Or are we up against too many competing geopolitical, social normalization efforts to get rid of the proper human diet? I wonder, huh? Right. So anyhow, maybe we should get cards, Arlene, that we can carry 2 or 3. I wonder if we could. I wonder if someone in the community could do. I wonder if Carrie could put together a card that we could download or get printed and drop shipped to our homes, and then he could use the proceeds of that to fund his movie. That'd be kind of cool, huh? That'd be interesting. You know, say, hey, let me order 25 of these business cards with the links on them and the graphics. And you know how Adam is with the graphics and everything. I know Adam do a really cool graphics and put some stuff together, and then we'll have those in our pockets. And then whatever they charge us, like how much do 25 business cards cost? Man, $8, $6, and then anything over that could go to the movie. Just thinking. Not that I am thinking much. Wait, Robert, layering. Yeah, layering. It is cool. I love to do layering, but it takes up some bandwidth. Thank you for the excellent exercise teaching. That's good. I used to get paper on a Jenny Rule. I think I've heard about that. That's good. Yeah, I think I've heard about Jenny Rule. But yeah, that exercise. I'm telling you this. It doesn't have to be grueling in a gym with a bunch of sweaty, stinky people grunting and grinding and doing crazy things. It could be as simple as standing up and sitting down in your chair, leg raises from your chair, but make sure you keep your back, suck your gut in. That's another great one. When you're sitting here, suck your belly button all the way to your spine, figuratively, and hold it for the count of about 6 to 8, and then slowly exhale, let it go, but holding your body upright, and then bring it back in. You do 5 of those reps 3 times a day, and you'll feel it. I'm not kidding. You'll really feel it. Great for your abs and great for your rectus, not just the rectus abdominals, rectus models, those 6-pack, but for your transverse obliques. Those transverse obliques, that's your girdle. That's what holds everything in and gives a lot of stability to your lower back. So if your lower back is hurting, you really want to work the transverse obliques more than you do your rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis, the 6-pack, all it does is to bring your rib cage down to your pubic bone. Now, I don't know why you want to do all that. Some people do, but it's not really good for your back at all. What you really want to do is rotational exercises, your bending exercises, sucking them in, right? And that will really work that deep layer girdling muscles and strengthen your back along the way. The one you use, yeah. The one you use. Oh, you mean Power Director? Okay. Yeah, Power Director. It's a hog. I like it. I can make some cool stuff with it, but I like Premiere Pro. Someone did a test side by side, some smart people, and they found that even a little tiny edit with the one I use, Power Director, adds gigabytes to the file size, and no one understands why. So I think I'm gonna have to investigate. I might have to put a tip jar on my website to help offset it. So because we own a fixed income, and on a fixed income, you just can't justify spending $40 a month on things just to make videos for YouTube. It doesn't pay. You know what I mean? Great exercise. Oh, hula hoop. Yeah, hula hoop. If I could hula hoop, I wouldn't be here today. Fad Diet Atkins. Crazy Atkins keto. Yeah, that's right. Hello, Laura. Good to see you back again. I know you had a phone call and stuff going on. We've got Carnivorous Grandma's here. Robin is here, and Arlene is here, and we're just chatting up about things we can do, exercise and video editing type things, and just having another late night at Scotty's, right? There we go. The what is my tagline I have down there now? I have down there now the common sense carnivore. That might be a little stretch of the imagination. There's a lot of money in keeping people sick. Yes, there is. And you know, it's interesting that you say that, Robin. In my heart of hearts, I honestly don't believe that a vast majority of medical providers have the intention of keeping people ill. I really don't. I really don't. I think that there's a lot of good intentions, and we know what the road to Hades is paved with. But I really do believe that there are a lot of very um, well-meaning and intentional doctors out there. I believe that the pharmaceutical industry um, has has been overrun by profit motive, and here we are today, right? Oh, the card idea, yeah, I'll try. I'll suggest it. I don't really have the line in to carry, but maybe if I talk to JT will run with it, run to it like a beggar on a bologna sandwich. Maybe so. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe they already thought of it. I know that when I worked with the Chamber of Commerce in Omaha, they gave out little tiny CDs back in the day when everybody had CD readers on the computers, and it was nothing but an infomercial, tell you what's so great about Omaha. But it was done really slick. I really liked it. It was pretty. It was pretty. It was called Good to Go. Yeah, it was good. When GK broke a grandkid broke your hula hoop. Get off my hula hoop, you hooligans. I like the way that played out, huh? Hula hoop and the hooligans. Yeah. I wanted to try the hula, but I don't know about that one. Well, Arlene, what to it? Again, start off with the little things I was talking about, right? Start off with, you remember how we used to do things? Nice and easy going. Don't, now this is what I've heard. Don't stretch cold. My wife and I used to do, you remember Richard Simmons? And he used to have that video, Dancing with the Oldies. Do you remember that one? Well, we used to put that on, and she would kind of do it, and I'd kind of just bounce around in the background, like, and I'm not really trying to do all the different moves, but just moving around. Like, put on some music you like, Arlene. I don't know what you like. Maybe you want some Willie Nelson, or you want some Gaither Brothers. I don't know if you can do a lot of Gaither Brothers, but put on some music you like and kind of just jitterbug around the house a little bit. Do a little motion, rhythmic motion, right? And that will really help if you start small. And I'm a big guy, pardon me. I'm a big guy. And I used to like to go out dancing. And this is what I learned about being a big fella, even before I was overweight fella. And that is little movements. Who is that guy from Saturday Night Fever? John Travolta, and he would do the frog, bird, frog, bird. Well, by the time my hand goes from way up here to way down there, the beat's already going off. I can't do that. I have to go frog, bird, frog. Do the mashed potato. You know what I mean? Do the twist, a little twist, a little bitty twist. But get some music going. That might. Wow, I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry. That might just encourage you. I just do a little bit of, get you a little shoulder action, Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act, get a little shoulder action in there. Get things kind of moving around. Get it kind of loosey-goosey. And you'll find that works, I bet you. All right. Let's see. What's Laura? If you're interested, look up fenbendazole and cancer. There have been little deathbed recoveries in weeks, and add it to carnivore, and it's a super strike. Oh, wow. Is that the medication? The gentleman with cancer, stage 4 cancer, he was in a video the other night, and he said he sprinkles that on like some fat or something, and then he eats it together, and worked out really well. I don't know. That's a big word. Fenbendazole. Sounds like it's pretty close to somewhere in southern Louisiana. Oh, how the country western, sometimes see the difference in country and western. Most people don't know that, but they do. He puts it on, he puts on oldies from the 70s. Oldies from the 70s, thank you. But that's some great music in the 70s. You could put on some Bachman Turner Overdrive, right? Oh yeah, Bachman Turner Overdrive, some Jefferson Airplane or Jefferson Airship, ELO. I don't know what type. If you like the music of the 70s, and a little boot scoot boogie, and just do a little bit of dancing around the house. Have some fun, burn the calories, get some motion, and like a Ronco, like a like a Ginsu knife. Not only do you get to move around the house, but you get to, as a bonus, you get to move the lymph around in your body. What a great idea! Should have thought of that myself. Laura, I remember the very first time you hook and hoop, yeah. Ankle ring with the string and ball. Oh yeah. Can you imagine trying to do that now? You know what I know? Okay, here's one for you. I'm driving down the road, and I want to do something with one of my hands, and then I want to do something with one of my other hands. Now, when we were 17 and driving, what do? We lifted our knees and we held the steering wheel with our knees. I haven't thought about doing that in decades. I didn't know if I could. So the other day I tried it. I was like, I can. I didn't, oh, pardon me. I knocked my table. But it's amazing the things we've left out of our lives, like jumping rope. How about hopscotch? How about a little hopscotch? Don't say that around the kids. They'll think you're drinking. Nice. There you go. Find things that put you in touch with movement. Yeah, it's not the practitioners. You're right, Robin. It's chasing dollars. It's almost as bad as being a YouTuber chasing clicks and follows, right? You just got to be you and do what you do. And there's so many people out there, and YouTube is still growing. Somebody's going to stop by. I'm working on the algorithm. I was watching a gentleman. He was talking all about the algorithms and how you need to work with your title, your intro, and all that stuff, but that you could really grow your channel by you making sure that your title and all that stuff jive. Well, look, I put insulin on the title of this. If you like insulin, we talked about it. Oh, you tell Carrie. Do by all means. Do by all means. And if that had a QR, like you could have a QR code on it. A lot of people, like in my church, we use QR codes because after COVID, you can't touch or do and interact. So it's like shoot the QR code, and the lesson plan for that day in church comes up, and a link to the church and all that good stuff. QR code. I mean, cell phones are ubiquitous in our society. But you could also put a couple of lines on there for a repository. Like I'm sure there's some people out there, and I know the couple of guys were working on to have a repository of articles where you can sit there and see a hierarchy, common sense hierarchy of what is logical to look at. Hey, I'm looking at carnivore, and you can look at the things to do. You could have you could have a link that in that library. You could have a section on costs. You could have a section on foods. You could have a section on exercise. You could have a section on diabetes, on Alzheimer's, on inflammation, on PCOS, PCOS, whatever it is that could in that library. You don't have to put everything up, and then people could just look at it and go, "Oh, I'll call," and then we don't have to explain a lot, and we get brand marketing for this idea of bringing carnivore into the mainstream. You could even leave a couple of them at your doctor's office. Wouldn't that be interesting? Hello, doctor. I found this card, and this card tells me if I follow these things, I might not need to come to you. I might get off of insulin. I might get off my statins. I might get my life back. What do you think, doc? I think that'd be awesome. That's just me. Judo, taekwondo, yeah. I used to do the old judo thing. I love that. But took some taekwondo when the kids were doing it, just so the kids would have dad participating. Horseback riding, I've done it, not so much. It'd be called animal abuse if I ride a horse. Oh, Donna Summer, yeah. Get some Donna Summer going on there. All that, the Four Tops, right? Oh man, love the Four Tops. There's so much good music back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s. Into the 80s, some good. I'm sure it was good. But, oh, yeah, boy, Temptations, you got 'em you got it all, you know? Tina Turner, Gladys Knight. Yeah. Anyway, I don't wanna go down too far down that memory hole. I might not ever come back. At disco, no. Yeah, disco good for the dance. No disco, no good for scotto. Disco and scotto, no, no, no. But I could not do the bird frog thing or anything else. Nah, that wasn't me. Nah, the only time I got close to that in the Air Force when they put me on the Fat Boy program one time, and I had to go do mandatory aerobics, right? So there I am, step, kick, right? Step, crossover, turn, step, crossover, turn. Well, everything I do, I kind of go for the gusto. I don't halfway do it. So they told me I had to go do the aerobics. I went and did the aerobics, and I got into it. Doing all the stuff, like with little Buffy the Vampire Slayer out there doing her aerobics. And yeah, it helped. I lost weight. Now I didn't enjoy it, but what was funny was I did find myself on a dance floor one night trying to bust a move, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh wait, step, crossover, turn. Oh hey, I'm doing aerobics out here, and I'm looking like I know what I'm doing. What a goob! And my wife fell for it. Yes, he did. Interesting. Yeah, but no disco for scotto. Scotio don't do it. I did learn the two-step. Wasn't great at it. Oh, chair dancing program? Yeah, $5 a month. I saw chair dancing at the club. Every time I'd go ask a young lady to dance, she'd always be chair dancing. I'd go ask her to dance. She said no. I was like, wow, no rejection there. Ladies bouncing around in a chair, and I come up, no. Well, I don't blame her. I look like Lurch, Hello, would you like to dance? 70s rock and folk. Yeah, I like that. I love a lot of folk. Love a lot of the Eagles and well, you all know all the music. We spend all day here talking about music. When I was in that age, I was a teenager, and then I graduated 79, 80. And in 1980-ish, I started working for a lot of concerts in the back of trucks. When a concert would come to town, they would concert would come to town, and they needed some local people to help offload the truck, and that's what kind of my job. My neighbor next door, he had a lot to do with that stuff, and so he would hire me to help offload these trucks, and of course, it was a lot of fun, and I got to do some cool things and meet some people. Matter of fact, yeah, I was cleaning out when I moved my office. I have some memorabilia here, so here you go. All right, first off, see a little yellow feather? That's from Big Bird's costume. That's right. I was I was off. It was off Broadway, Sesame Street, and yeah, Big Bird. Let's see. This is um, Stevie Ray Vaughan, October 20th, 1984. Backstage pass working that. That's right before I came to service. The guy I worked for gave me this backstage pass for Stevie Ray Vaughan. This concert I worked. This was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Long After Dark, American Tour '83. That guy was not my favorite guy. I could spend a little time talking about that, but having had to work for him directly a bit, it was no bueno. Y'all remember The Fix? Yep, I was crew for The Fix. Oh yeah. Okay, are you ready? Wayne Newton. Yeah, that was a tough concert, Wayne Newton. Yeah. Anyway, these are just some of the backstage passes I had to keep when I worked doing that stuff. So yeah, good music. Creed, CCR, Creed, Clearwater Revival. Yeah. I like Some America. I like a lot of that music too, but not all of it. I was never a Grateful Dead fan. Never a Grateful Dead. Chair yoga. There you go. They do it. A lot of people do it. My wife does yoga up in her studio on a daily basis to keep herself flexible and limber. And I don't. I should. Yeah, the music was so good. You're absolutely right, Robin. Nah, I tell you, I'm not saying music today isn't good, but it just seems like the music in that period, and I'm gonna say everything before, not everything, a lot of music across multiple genres, if you would, depended on good vocals, good instrumentation, good lyrics, right? And somehow that kind of got lost. Now, I like some DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, right? I like Prince too. Purple Rain. Okay, you got that. But anyway, it's just what it is. Um, I'm sure my grandparents thought the music of the 70s was wackadoodle, right? It's probably been like that since when Martin Luther had his Reformation. He changed a little bit of the music in the church, right? Somebody probably complained about that reckless rabble music because the chord progressions, the chord progressions on the organ or the harpsichord, whatever they played the piano, those are wild things. You know, they say that Beethoven was often thought of as a person. If you ever listen to any Wagner, I mean, why are we using cannons, right? If you listen to Wagner, some classical music, and whoever heard of opera being done in German? It sounds like someone beating something else up, right? Anyway, just having fun with that. Are you laughing at my attempt at Purple Rain? All right, I would too. All right, Robin, you take care. Thank you for coming by and sharing your time. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate your content, what you're doing for the community. And I really hope that we can see you come back over here sometime and pass on the good word to friends over there at Homestead How about the card. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe it can work. All right. Matter of fact, I think that's a good time here to put a put a put a fork into it. Not because Robin left or anything like that, but because I've been doing it for about an hour and 42 minutes, and I probably need to give my voice a break. My voice is booming. I'm sure it's booming through the house, so I probably should give her a break too. You know, she is the love of my life, and it would be courteous to to let her have some peace and quiet. What do you think? What are the odds of that? Hmm? 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 I don't know if you saw earlier I did a short today. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but I was washing windows, and the title of my short was Carnivores Can. Carnivores can wash windows. And I'm cleaning a window. We're doing spring cleaning, and more windows to do tomorrow. I think we have like 11 sets of them, so there's more windows to do tomorrow. But we mopped the floor Monday. Monday mop day. So we mopped the floor on Monday, and of course did all the dusting and vacuuming. And today did the mowing and a window, and more windows tomorrow. Baseboards have already been done, but there's a couple other spring clean. I got to clean some filters and change filters for the heating and air conditioning. So you get it, the usual run of the mill thing. So we're gonna let this day slide off into the gentle night. And I appreciate each one of you being around and sharing your time with me. Laura, thank you so much. Y'all take care. Yeah, y'all be blessed. And remember, God loved us from day one. Before we knew him, he loved us. And we can take all of our joy and put it right into that basket, right? So take care. God bless. And we will see you the next time I decide to push the go live button. Take care now. Bye-bye.